What's up, people? This is your girl Cotton. This is your word on wheels. GodIsAhealer.com. I do this series while I'm driving to work every day because I like to share what God puts on my heart to share. Sometimes it's lighthearted topics, situations, or whatever. And sometimes it be some heavy hitters. Well, today is one of them heavy hitters. Because as much as I was like, I don't know, it feel like a TV show when they give you the list of what you're going to talk about. You're like, wait a minute, can we give me another script? Because I don't want to do this, but I have to be obedient to the Spirit of God. First of all, I want to thank y'all for all y'all prayers, for the reconciliation of me and my son. I got his dog tag around my neck, close to my heart. I'm just crazy enough to believe that God will restore our relationship and that he will build it to be even stronger than what it was in the beginning. Because he's mine. I carried him for 9 whole months and breastfed him. So, I just believe that God will give me the desires of my heart because I have been delighting myself in him. Shout out to Shay Wright and Raven Evans for my beautiful glasses. I know y'all get tired of me tagging them, but they're some awesome young ladies, not made to blend in, flywear, and they are really meticulous about their craft. So I thank them for that. Okay, let's get to the meat of the thing. Today I want to talk about mental health. Lord knows I didn't want to talk about mental health because some people know, some people may not know this about me. You may think that it's all a act or whatever. You know, I'm just funny and crazy, and you know, I just done created this Miss Cotton character, and I turn it on and off. But my real friends know that a lot of my comedy and things that I do are a coping mechanism for me. It helps me deal. Well, I take that back. It helps me turn around what the enemy meant for bad into something good. Because I was diagnosed with multiple personality disorder. And a lot of people may think that happens to white people. It happens to everybody. And it's real. And a lot of times it comes along, it happens to people who have experienced such horrific things in their life that they start creating personalities to cope with the horror of what they're dealing with. And, you know, I used to see stuff about that on movies and stuff. Like, you know, TV shows where they got the people and we're going to integrate all your personalities together. And I'm like, all of us were saying, all my personalities watching the TV show. And it's something it's hard to talk about in church. Because the few times I've attempted to talk to someone about that, I was told I was possessed by demons and all the different demons in me and all that, you know, and that was the answer. I'm possessed. You need to be exorcised. And, you know, I really feel like a lot of other people are hesitant to share about their mental health experiences at church. Because instead of dealing with the problem, they just want to say you possessed by something and that's it, you know, and all that. Well, it goes deeper than that. Because after you leave church on Sunday, you still got to deal with the mental health issues. And what I decided to do, like I said about integration, that is a real thing. And over the years, I have slowly started integrating some of these personalities so my brain would get some rest, because my brain goes like this until I go to sleep. I take medication for epilepsy. I have seizures because my brainwave activity is so high. And there's some people who say they jealous of me. They envious of me because I can do all these jobs. I do hair, I paint, I do comedy, I rap, I sing, I'm a chemist, and all that stuff right there. But that's exhausting. It's exhausting to have all these different people living inside of you with all their different interests. That's why my timeline is so busy. Because all of us got something to say. And as I began integrating some of these personalities, the Lil Corey character, Lil Corey was created to protect me from rape. I was raped several times, more times than I could even put in my book, because it was just been repetitive. That was a defense mechanism. And you know, the bright, I call it a bright, colorful hooker. The rainbow tutus with the freakish shorts and all that stuff, I got rid of her. Every personality that was in me that had nothing to do with God, had nothing to do with the gift that God placed inside of me, I got rid of. Because despite what the doctors told me about me being schizophrenic, being sick, and that I need to take medication for that, that's not what's wrong with me. I'm not schizophrenic. I don't have multiple personality disorder. I am a person who God has placed many gifts in and didn't know how to handle them. But I thank God for healing. Because when I got my life together and I got saved, I was able to quiet that noise in my head. I was able to start going back out in public around people without having panic attacks. I was able to have conversations with people without being afraid that they would think I was stone crazy. And even now today, people be like, "Oh, Cotton, you so crazy. You don't even know the half of it." But through Jesus Christ, anything is possible. I'm not possessed. I'm not crazy. I'm just somebody who possesses a whole lot of gifts. And I'm somebody who God speaks to often, all the time. You know, the doctors want, I have a gift. And I'm not finna go into detail about that gift. But just know, if I'm sitting around you, God is dropping all kind of stuff into my spirit about you. And I thought I was crazy. I didn't know anything about discernment and God giving you a gift of being an intercessor so you can know where people is hurting and what areas you need to pray for them in. I didn't know anything about that. All I know, I kept hearing, it was the noise inside my head was awful. I was picking up people's thoughts, feelings, fears, you know, all that stuff where they're hurting. And the medical community, they don't believe that. So they rather put a label on it and give you some medicine to shut them voices up. I welcome the voices. Because those voices, what I realized, was the voice of God. And at the time I didn't know how to recognize the voice of God. So it just sounded like jibber jabber to me. And I just want to tell anybody who's watching this video, if you're dealing with any mental health issues, and you feel like people just don't get you, they don't understand, I suggest you pray to God to give you direction. There's other mental health issues that I ain't even get a chance to touch on, including depression. Y'all need to start going and actually checking on people instead of going to their Facebook page and saying, "Oh, well, she cool because she was just on Facebook." That don't mean nothing. Them happy pictures and all that quirky quotes and all that don't mean nothing. You could be looking at the page of somebody who's literally dying on the inside and crying for somebody to recognize this through their quotes. I know. Because I did it all the time. And all I got was a like on the status. Not no, sister, I feel you, I'm praying for you, all that, because they just click like, just like everything else. And I felt like I was invisible in a room full of people. Depression is real. And I'm so glad God pulled me out of that pit of depression. But I can't lie and say that I'm fully delivered from it. Because right now, to this day, I could go out, I could be active, I could be the life of the party, and I go right back home to my room and close the door alone and cry. And my own family don't even realize it. When I attempted suicide in 2013, everybody was shocked. But if you'd went down my timeline, you shouldn't have been shocked, because I was crying out for help and no one saw it. Some of y'all might be mad at y'all friend, because I ain't even finna generalize. Some of y'all might be mad at me because I ain't drove over to your house to sit and have girl chat and all that stuff right there. And even stop talking to me. I got 5 friends I can count on my hand. Only 2 of them actually know where I live. The other ones couldn't tell you where I live. Somebody put a gun up to their head, and they're my friends. Something's wrong with that picture. Sometimes you need to come out of your house wondering why somebody ain't coming to see you, and go see about your friends, because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people are fighting through. And my real friends, I'm talking about my true ride or die friends, they don't require that superficial stuff from me. They don't require girl night out for me and all that stuff, because they know I'm not going to do it. But the ones who have really just distanced themselves away from me because they all up in their feelings because I'm not hanging with you. You don't even know what's going on with me, homegirl. Have you checked? You haven't. Oh, you all crossed my Facebook page. She doing good. God, look at her. She at this event. She doing that event. But have you picked up the phone and called me? No, you haven't. And I'm not the only one. If you're watching this video and you call yourself mad at somebody because you ain't heard from them, call them. I don't mean to be morbid, but they might be dead and you don't even know it. Mental illness is real, but God is realer. And I have found my center of peace in God. Those days of hopelessness and not feeling like I have any purpose in my life are gone. I know my purpose. I see it happening right in front of my face. And I'm so glad I was able to pull myself up out of that pit of depression and suicidal thoughts to experience it. Y'all, this has been your Word on Wheels. I'm your girl, Miss Cotton. GodIsAhealer.com. I didn't want to do this one today, but I have to be obedient to the Spirit. I love y'all. Bye.